The Mongols came from the highlands of northern China. The ancient Mongolians survived the wars between the Huns and the early Siberians for many centuries and gradually became more powerful. The Mongols lived on the harsh Mongolian steppes. Theirs was a nomadic culture. The Mongols were tough and strong. Genghis Khan established the Mongolian Empire in 1206. He summoned the tribal chiefs to a legislative congress. Every July and August, he also organized festivals on the steppes when the weather was at its best. The festivals featured Mongolian wrestling, known as bok in Mongolian, archery, and equestrian events. The Mongolian Empire made these three sports an integral part of the education of Mongolian men and called them the three manly skills. Three martial arts enthusiasts from Hong Kong, Li Ka, Yim Siu Kang, and Man Siu Kei, went to Inner Mongolia, to the border region of Ujimchin, to learn about the three manly skills of Mongolia.
I grew up in a very tough family. My grandfather got violent when drunk. After learning Kung Fu, it gives me protection. I learned how to protect myself and my family. I studied Chinese wrestling for several years. I would go to Mongolia to learn bok in order to find out the differences between bok and Chinese wrestling and to experience Mongolian culture.
Practicing martial arts is hard. I practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and my opponents are always much bigger. They're over 200 pounds. And so the training has to be tough. Why do I endure these hardships? I want to challenge myself, to get stronger every day. That is why I'm going to Mongolia, to test my strength and ability.
There's no rank in literature, as well as fighting. Living in a big city like Hong Kong, in order to get stronger, we train ourselves rigorously, such as keeping fit, lifting weights, sparring with people from different backgrounds. We may be considered strongest in the city. But are we strong enough? Strong enough for Mongolia?
According to history, Mongolian bok started in the 13th century. This traditional style of wrestling has become a unique form of tournament in the Mongolian culture. It is a sport as well as entertainment for the people. Originally a tournament for different tribal wrestlers, bok gradually grew to be the main event of the Mongolian festival, Nadam. As a prelude to the competition, the Mongolian bok usually begins with the playing of Mongolian long song. The wrestlers then make their entry as dancing lions. The bok costumes are highly formalized. The wrestling top, the trousers, the boots, and the belt. There is no limit on the age of the wrestlers. nor their level, nor the duration of the fight. You lose when any part of your body above the knee touches the ground. You lose if you fall. The last 16 qualifiers will all be awarded livestock, such as sheep. Mongolians are very hospitable. The Nadam host invited our 3 challengers from Hong Kong to take part in the bok contest.
You just need to put your name forward to register.
All right, great. Yeah. Registration.
I will as well. Lika.
After registration, contestants are divided into groups of 8 by drawing lots. After the first round of one-on-one combat, the winners will go forward to the next round. They wrestle from morning till night until a single champion is found.
When I grabbed the other guy, I tried to pull him over. He waited for me to shift my weight first, and then kicked me off balance. I tried to make him lose balance first, but he grasped me really tightly. I pulled him to the right so that he would pull back, and I could then push him over. His stance anchored him to the ground. He kept his balance magnificently. In the end, I was pulled to the ground.
Here we have another contestant, Yim Siu Kung from Hong Kong. When we were sparring just now, my opponent was very calm. When he pulled, I tumbled to the ground. This kind of wrestling requires immense strength, just incredible. And the last contestant from Hong Kong is Man Siu Kai.
He was fixed to the ground. Very calm and stable. His grips were powerful and his body was centered. I kicked him several times, but he did not move an inch.
See his stance? It was solid as a rock. I wanted to use my flying scissor kick on him. Since kicks are ineffective, I could only lock my leg around him to bring him down.
But if you do that, your body would touch the ground first.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, it is. I couldn't lift his legs with my arms either.
Yeah.
It's the rules.
None of your best combat skills are of any use here.
He did not move when I tried to sweep his legs.
Maybe we should knock him off balance first.
I tried to shake him hard.
How about seize the opportunity to grip him?
The shaking failed, not to mention the rest. There was no way he could be moved.
After a night's pondering, can the 3 challengers think of a way to beat the Mongolian bok wrestlers? When dawn came, all 3 of them decided to challenge the bok wrestlers once more. Mongolian wrestling, also known as Bok, had a special meaning in the old Mongolian Empire. Apart from being a celebration of masculinity, it was also a way to settle disputes over property rights and other tribal disputes. Even in the modern Mongolian society, Bok wrestlers are still highly respected. For example, inside the Mongolian tent, outstanding Bok wrestlers are always seated in the middle to honor their position of respect in the society. Hate was born at the Taizhou town of East Umjinchin. He is a well-known wrestler, one of the best. He did not lose a single fight for 6 consecutive years. He's committed to teaching young people about Bok. How did he train himself to be a Bok wrestler?
To learn Bok, you need to observe first. Then you need a mentor to teach you the skills and techniques. It usually takes quite a long time and a lot of hard work.
The 3 challengers are paying Hate a visit to learn the basic skills of Bok.